Defaulting on a promissory note can trigger serious legal and financial consequences that could impact your life for years. But what exactly does it mean to default, and what happens when you do? A promissory note is a legally binding document that details a contractual agreement between two parties. Unlike a simple IOU that merely acknowledges a debt, a promissory note specifies all repayment terms, including interest rates, due dates, and payment schedules. When both parties sign this document, they create a legally enforceable contract. For a promissory note to be valid and enforceable, it must contain four essential components. First, it must clearly identify all parties involved in the transaction. The maker or promisor is the person drawing up the note, while the payee is the person in whose favor the note is created. All parties must be of legal age and sound mind. Second, the note must contain a clear promise. This should explicitly state the specific sum of money promised and the exact terms of the agreement. Avoid including alternative forms of payment like services, as these can complicate enforcement. Third, the sum certain component must detail the exact amount to be paid, including interest, appreciation, and any penalties for non-payment. For mortgages, this often includes a payment schedule showing how much goes toward principal versus interest. Finally, without signatures, a promissory note has no legal standing. Lenders should verify the identity of all signatories, typically by checking photo identification. So what does it mean to default? Defaulting occurs when a borrower fails to fulfill their obligations under the terms of the note. This could involve missing scheduled payments, failing to pay the full amount by the maturity date, or violating other contractual terms. Depending on the agreement, default can happen automatically when a payment is missed, or it might require formal notification from the lender. Many notes include grace periods before penalties apply. The consequences of defaulting can be severe. For secured notes, where collateral backs the loan, default often gives the lender immediate rights to repossess that collateral. With unsecured notes, the lender may file a lawsuit to recover what they're owed. Defaulting can lead to accelerated repayment demands, where the entire loan balance becomes due immediately. Your credit score will likely suffer significant damage. Legal actions might include wage garnishment or property liens. And if the note was secured, you could lose your collateral entirely. When default occurs, lenders typically begin by issuing a notice of default. This formal communication states that the loan is in default, specifies the amount overdue, explains the nature of the default, demands payment or corrective action, and provides a timeline before further legal steps are taken. After default, lenders have several remedies available. For secured notes, they can repossess or foreclose on collateral and sell it to recover the debt. With unsecured notes, lenders can demand full repayment under acceleration clauses, file civil lawsuits to obtain judgments, and potentially pursue wage garnishment or bank levies after winning a judgment. Borrowers facing default allegations do have potential defenses. These might include improper or lack of default notice, ambiguous or missing contract terms that make enforcement difficult, unfair lending practices, or evidence that payments were made but not properly recorded. Understanding promissory notes and the consequences of default is crucial, whether you're borrowing or lending money. The terms you agree to in these documents create real legal obligations with significant implications. If you're considering signing a promissory note or are facing potential default, consulting with a qualified attorney can help protect your rights and financial interests.